Okay, it looks like we're getting folks in the tent, and we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm Dennis Bona. I'm the president of Kellogg Community College, the current president of Kellogg Community College. I say that because we have a lot of special guests here tonight, which you're going to hear from shortly. But what I'd like to do is, of course, welcome you to this event. We are very, very pleased, very proud to have been able to serve the folks in Branch County through the Grahl Center here for the past 20 years. It's hard to believe it's been 20 years, but it certainly has been a wonderful service to this community, and we've literally put through thousands of students of all ages that come through here to advance their education through Kellogg Community College. I'm going to introduce just a couple of people before I introduce our kind of main speaker here in a second, and that is the chair of the Board of Trustees for Kellogg Community College, Mr. Steve Claywell. Steve, raise your hand, jump up and down. Here we are over here. And I have another trustee here this evening, Mr. Brian Heiss. Okay, with that, we have a very ambitious program, and we're going to try and hold it to a half an hour before we get to the awards and games and all that kind of fun. But we are so fortunate tonight to have Dr. Paul Ohm with us, who was the president of Kellogg Community College for 17 years, and who's without his leadership, we would not have a Grahl Center here today. So, Dr. Ohm, would you please, where I saw him a minute ago, there he is. Dr. Paul.
You always wonder when you get invited to something by Dennis. Because I got invited a few weeks ago, and then I got invited again, and then I talked to Bobby this morning, and I said, "What's the program like?" And she said, "Well, you're the program." And I said, well, that was better than Dennis telling me at 5 o'clock, but he could have done that as well. Well, it's nice to see so many friends here tonight, particularly a school table over here that I know well, and some elected officials or past elected officials. Putting together this building and the Grahl Center was really a win-win and a cooperative venture among just about everybody in this county, really. From the county commissioners to the ISD board, to the building authority, to the local school superintendents, to the folks at the Career Center, everybody just came together to make something happen in a relatively short period of time, and it was pretty amazing. I think what I'd like to do, I was asked by a couple people to say a few words about how did this actually happen and what was the history. So I started with 4 hours, went down to 3, went down to 2, and now I'm down to about 3.5 minutes. So we can do it in 3.5 minutes. I do want to recognize someone tonight who is sitting over there at this table. Gene, raise your hand. Gene Haymaker was the chairman of the Board of Trustees when the center was built. And Gene's comment to me when the board approved it, after they passed the motion, he said, "Damn it, you better make this thing work." Gene lacked a certain subtlety from time to time, but he was able to get his point across clearly. So here's the context of how we began the Grahl Center. First of all, it wasn't the Grahl Center in the beginning. It was the center. KCC had been offering classes for Branch County residents in Coldwater for many years. We were in an elementary school, then we were in the high school, we were in the Career Center. Then we rented an office in a shopping center that was kind of over that way, west and north of here. And we rented an office, we put permanent staff there, we had a classroom in the building, and it still kept growing. Finally, they said, look, we can't make this work this way because we've got students who want to take 2 classes. And it's very difficult to have them take a class at the high school and a class here and move around. So we've got to do something. So what happened is 2 people brought this idea forward, and there's a picture of them in the program. One was Gary Lemke. Gary is unfortunately deceased. He was the dean of continuing education at the time. And the other one was Mark O'Connell, who was over here. No one knows what Mark was doing at that time. Mark has the distinction of having more job titles and business cards than anybody in the history of Kellogg Community College, and no one ever knew what he did. He was like a will-o'-the-wisp. He would move in and that kind of stuff. So anyway, they came and said, will you give us an opportunity to do this? And I said, sure, but you've got to show me an educational plan and a business plan. I got to see the finances on this to see if we make this work. So they worked with Bob Rimkus and put the finances together, and that was it. That's what happened. So we started some meetings with a small planning committee. We got the branch ISD, and I believe the superintendent I know is Bob Redmond. I think the plaque says Dr. Howe was the board chair at that time. The county administrator was John Dean. Charlene Birch was the head of the county commissioners. The building authority, most importantly, Kenneth Dart. The local school districts were involved, and I started to attend their monthly superintendent's meeting pretty regularly. Remember that, guys? We all sat over here in the room and talked about stuff and then talked about what we were going to do together. The building authority sold bonds to build the building on land that was owned by the ISD. Now, please correct me. This table knows the routine here. On land that was owned by the ISD. The branch ISD allowed the building to be built on their land, which would ultimately pass to us when everything was done. KCC leased the building from the building authority for the amount of the bonds that the building authority had to pay each year. And they would call us and say, the bonds are due, you got to pay us, that kind of stuff. And it was all good fun. I think it was 15-year bonds, is that right? 15-year bonds. Now, we had a little problem in the law with the Community College Act because you couldn't lease something for more than 5 years. So we had a 15-year lease. So we went to the college attorney, Ron Grahl, and he said, well, I will have to think not like an attorney now. And so what he developed was a rolling 5-year lease. So every year the lease renewed for 5 years. It just kept going for 15 years. That was really pretty creative. The other problem was that the building authority bonds could not be used to buy equipment and furniture for the building. So we tried to figure out how we were going to do that, and we got a hold of a person many of you know, Jerry Towns, who was a bank president, local businessman, and Jerry said, I'll help you get in touch with people who might give you some money in the community. We started talking to people, and by we, I mean myself, Gene Haymaker, and Mark O'Connell. We had the boards and the plans, and we started making sales calls. We went to Dr. Grahl to see Dr. Grahl at his factory, which I believe was that-a-way. And we went in and we made the pitch to him, and he stood up and said, I want to be part of this, and I'm going to give you all the furniture. And I could hear Gene saying, oh, and Mark going, oh my God. And I said, thank you. and that's how we got the furniture. The computer equipment and all that we couldn't buy for 5 years, so we leased. Because you could lease and then renew, but you couldn't buy. And we leased and then renewed the lease and did all that kind of stuff. There was a lot of creative ways to work your way through this. Along the way, I have to say that Dr. Grahl and I developed a close personal relationship. He was a German university professor of business and economics who left his tenured position when he was needed to go back and run the family business. And he emigrated to America and started an American company in Coldwater. I believe the company has since been sold. He and I enjoyed many good times together until he passed away. About this time, 20 years ago, we surprised Dr. Grahl by naming the center after him. He had an assistant, Karin, who got us a portrait of him, and we had the portrait made and framed and put on an easel, and we had a ceremony like this, and then we named the center for him. It really stunned him. He was very sentimental about it, and it was very delightful. And after it was over, he said, "You're one ahead." And so later, a few years later, he got even, kind of. I came to work one day and my chair at my desk was gone, and there was a Grahl chair there with a videotape and a note. And the Grahl chair happened to match the fabric of the other furniture in the office. Okay, so I knew that someone, O'Connell, was involved in getting Grahl and Karin in and doing all that kind of stuff. So the note read something like this. I opened it up, and he said, "This is my best chair. You will need to look at the video before you can figure out how to make it work." He said, "Look at the video. Don't fail to look at the video." Parentheses, "I know you won't look at the video." Parentheses. And he said, "Now we're kind of even." And he said, "By the way, this is a gift to you, not the college. When you retire in 100 years, you will take this chair with you." And then he said, "I probably will go first, and if you don't take it, I'll see you on the other side." He was a great guy, and this facility is fitting in his memory. I assume people know Jill Stewart, who was a director. Mark was the first director. Jill's here somewhere. She was the second director. There are other people here who worked on it. There is one thing I want to tell you that somebody may not remember. This building was built with a footer going that way, all the way around, so that when we built the building, we built a footer in there so that the entire building could be expanded in equal size without going through a footing. It's designed to be flipped, so the two mechanical rooms would come together and all that kind of stuff. You'd have to do some renovation in the office, but it's there waiting for whenever it's needed. Thank you very much. By the way, these pictures, they're not true. They touched up our pictures.
Okay, as Dr. Ohm indicated, there were a lot of people that were involved with this 25 years ago in partnership, and we'd like to recognize a few of those tonight. Some of the representatives are here from the county government, and I believe Bud Norman, you're here tonight? Yeah, he's here, okay. We've got something we'd like to take back to both the county commission and to the county building authority. And I know Sabina Grahl is here, and I'd like to give her something again in remembrance of Dr. Grahl to take back to the house, and I know she's back here, so let's see. Okay. Okay, and as Paul mentioned, we certainly couldn't have done this without the support of the Branch Intermediate School District. And Joe, I know you're here if you'd come up. And then for many years, both Dr. Bone and myself have worked with Mike Hoffner, and we want to recognize certainly him also on the contributions next door at the center there. So again, we've got you both something just to say thank you to both of you. And then we got a little something to send back with Dr. Ohm. Kevin, he's sitting over there. Where'd he go?
Thank you, Mark. At this time, I'd like to bring up some representatives from the college that have been involved with the Grahl Center over the 20 years that we've been here. And hopefully we can get a group photo of all of us up here together at this time. So I'm just going to call off your names if you would all come up together. Mark O'Connell is the first. Jill Stewart. Mark and Jill were really the first directors here at the Grahl Center. Mark kicked it off and hired Jill, and she was here and was the face of the Grahl Center for many years and still is. I still get asked. Jill has also been a huge asset to me in planning this event, and I'm just so tickled she could be here tonight. The next person I'm going to bring up is Suzanne Fillmore, who was Jill's right hand. Most of you. And then the next person that we're going to introduce is Dr. Kevin Rabinaugh, who is my boss, our current leader of regional education. Kevin was also a director here at the Grahl Center, and the years for each of these individuals is on your program. And then I'd also like to bring up Dr. Colin McCaleb. Sue Sebeski. And then I just want to say one quick thing before we take a picture of us together, and then I'm going to introduce Teresa Durham. But it is just such an honor to be a part of the Grahl Center and of this community. We are a community of movers and shakers. We know how to get things done down here. And I'm pretty sure Dr. Ohm just issued a challenge to us to grow this Grahl Center by double. So let's see what we can do, folks. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Teresa Durham, Director of the KCC Foundation. It is my pleasure to be here and to also look forward, along with Bobby and the college, to connect with alums, to connect with the community, so that that challenge that Dr. O made can become a reality. It is now my pleasure to introduce the Branch County Community Chorus under the direction of Gerald Blanchard. Following the performance, we invite everyone to come onto the front lawn and stand on this beautifully marked 20 that you see on the front lawn so that we can commemorate and celebrate 20 years with an aerial photo. So don't leave too quickly. We want everyone to come out and be part of the picture that will be the legacy. And now, ladies and gentlemen, students and alums, I bring you the Branch County Community Chorus.
As Ms. Durham said, we are the Branch County Community Chorus, and we're very happy to be a part of this. 20 years here for the building and the organization, but we've been here for 11 of those 20 years. So we're really excited to be a part of this special event. We're going to perform a piece for you called River Song, a Celtic celebration, but also if you are going to be around on Saturday at 10:30, come to the Apple Fest. The full chorus will be there for that. this is a part of our course. Please enjoy. Peace.
Recognize my staff because they have worked very hard for today. Terry, Bev, Carrie, Dennis, stand up if you're out there. I know you're around here somewhere. Sue, yes, thank you. They've all worked really hard today. And thank you to our service learning students and the orientation shirts. They're all here volunteering as part of their service learning class, and I know they've worked really hard too, so thank you.